Hey guys, I'm Bonnie and I promised you this video a couple days ago about my hair washing saga. And so if any of you have had hair issues, I hope this helps you or just gives you a few tips. It's been a long time coming, like multiple years in figuring out exactly what works for my hair. So like probably most of you, I just grew up washing my hair every day, or at least as soon as I needed to when it got greasy in my teens, and never really thought much of it after that. Fast forward several years and my hair's gone through a lot. I've birthed 9 babies, your hair gets thicker and then it falls out, and then your hormones screwed up. And so there have been so many days when I've thought there has to be something better than this. I got too tired and too lazy to wash it every day. So several years ago I was like, all right, I'm tired of either squeaky clean hair that does nothing, right? It doesn't hold a curl, it doesn't straighten, it looks frizzy, or dirty hair that's good for like half a day, and then it gets gross again, super greasy, and you have to wash it and start the cycle all over again. So I thought there's got to be a better way. So I did so much research, got on all these online forums and looked into everything from people who wash their hair every day with like super clean, chemical-free shampoo, all the way to those who don't wash their hair at all, like literally just water. And I just explored every avenue there was. And so I'm going to share with you what has worked for me over the last couple of years. The first thing I should tell you is that it took me a long time to get to where I am now. So I think anytime you change up habits with your hair, it's going to just require a little bit of patience on your behalf. You're going to see some wacky things. Your head's going to be like, what is happening when you just change your routine. So just be prepared for that. Be prepared for some greasy days, some hot days, some uncomfortable days as you get used to a new routine. Okay, so the first thing that I tried was apple cider vinegar and baking soda. Now, if you've explored any alternative hair washing techniques, you've probably stumbled across this one. It's very basic, very simple. It's what a lot of people start with, and I'll show you how I do it in just a minute. But it basically requires washing with the baking soda mixture and then rinsing with the apple cider vinegar. And that combination of like acid and base tend to calm down the pH of your hair, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but that's what I was reading. So this actually worked for me for a long time. So first there was the initial adjustment. It took a month or two of my hair just being wacky and me actually washing it more often than usual because my hair was used to having the oils all stripped out of it. Once that I got used to that, then I was able to do the baking soda and apple cider vinegar much less often. And I got to the point where I was using it basically just once a week. And I did that for probably a year. And honestly, more times than not, my hair was great. A few things that I was looking for in this alternative hair care journey, basically. Number one, I wanted my hair to have the grit and the texture of like 2 or 3 day hair without waiting 2 or 3 days, without the first couple of days of like extra clean, limp hair, right? And that's exactly what I got with the baking soda vinegar mixture. Right out of the shower. So first of all, it's not silky smooth like you get with conditioner, although you can add conditioner after the vinegar if you want to try that. It was tangly. I'd have to kind of run my fingers through it. And it was a lot grittier feeling than I was used to. But once I got used to that feeling, I really liked it. It brushed just fine. My hair held curl a lot better. It straightened better. It was never like frizzy and super duper squeaky clean, which I hadn't really liked in the past. Okay. So the downside to this was that I couldn't always predict what my hair was going to do. Okay. So sometimes it would start producing oil more frequently, and then it wouldn't. And I think that's just hair in general. So I think the important thing to realize is whatever journey you go on to change your hair up, it's not an exact science and it will require some trial and error. So that's just a little warning right up front. Okay. So after about a year of doing this, I noticed that before the next wash, so the day or two before that next wash, it wouldn't get really greasy per se. There was a little bit of oil that I could notice, but it would get really matted underneath here. And so like you wouldn't necessarily look at my hair and go, oh, your hair looks greasy, but if you lifted it, there wasn't much you could do about it. And even washing it again with the baking soda and vinegar never really solved that. So I realized I needed some sort of clarifying something occasionally. So I went back to my local health food store, Ours is called Sprouts. I don't know if you guys have that, but anyway, and I picked up a shampoo and conditioner that didn't have all the nasty chemicals you're supposed to avoid, phthalates and who knows what else. And I really liked that. It also didn't feel squeaky, super squeaky clean. It didn't lather because there's no detergent in it. But I did notice that as I started using that exclusively for a while, my hair did get a little more dried out. So now I've got this balance going on. Most of the time I wash it with baking soda and apple cider vinegar. I'll do that for a few weeks, and then if my hair starts to get kind of that matted, weird feeling, then I'll switch it up with a little bit of shampoo. So I just share that because I don't really know if there's one thing that will work perfectly for anyone, but if you have a little time and experience on your hands, you can kind of figure out what's going to work best for you. Okay, so I'm going to show you how exactly I did the baking soda vinegar wash and what you can expect when you start. Okay, so this is what I put in my shower. I have 2 little plastic containers like this. Little one has baking soda in it. The other one has vinegar. I do apple cider, and mine's like the natural kind with the mother in it. It's like pieces of apple floating around in it. It's kind of weird, but whatever. So when I go to wash, I also buy one of these little bottles. So this is just like a travel size shampoo container from Target or something. Buy one of these because you're going to want to dilute both of these things. Now, the first handful of times I did this, I just put it straight on my scalp. I didn't know. And it was fine, but it was weird. It didn't work very well. So don't make my same mistake. Just open your little empty bottle and open your baking soda. I like the Tupperware things in my shower because then I know it's not going to get soggy. Like, it keeps the water out that gets splashed around. And I just scoop like a teaspoon or 2 in my little container like this. You see just a little teeny amount in there. And then I fill the rest of it up with water just from the shower. I shake it up really good, and then I apply it to my hair just like shampoo. So I will put the lid on, make sure it's really dissolved really well, lift it, and then just put it right along my scalp, usually in the greasiest spot, so kind of the crown of my head, right along the front, and then I just scrub. And you can kind of feel like a little scrubby sensation because the baking soda has like these little granules in it, and it feels good. So scrub, 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 rinse it out really, really good, and then do the same thing with the apple cider vinegar. So I'm pretty sure you can also do just like white vinegar, but all the forums online, people use apple cider, so that's what I used. Same thing, a couple of teaspoons in here of the vinegar. Fill the rest up with water. Don't do all vinegar like I did for a while. It doesn't work as well, and you smell like Easter eggs. And then same thing. Put it all through your hair, focusing on the roots. Mix it up a little bit, and then rinse it out with the water, okay? I also take that time to detangle it with my fingers because I feel like it's easier when it's sopping wet than getting out of the shower and having it dry a little bit. Again, it's not going to be super silky smooth, but I think that adding a conditioner probably will not hurt. I think it's the shampoo and the stripping of the oils all the time that gets it so that it's that squeaky clean that doesn't really hold a style. Okay, I want to share 2 more tools with you guys that I found really helpful in this alternative hair care journey. One is a dry shampoo tool. Okay, I have bought lots of expensive dry shampoos, and throughout these past few years, I've found that none of them really works. There's one super cheap one I've used at Target, Batiste, I think is what it's called, and that one works okay, but I still feel like it's depositing a lot of gunk in my hair that never really washes out, or just kind of maybe makes my hair okay for a day or so, but then it leaves it even worse. The one thing I found that is very natural is cornstarch. Works really, really good. So same thing, I get another little Tupperware, I put cornstarch in it, and mine I actually mixed with cocoa powder. It smells delicious, and I have brown hair, so I don't really want a bunch of white powder in my hair. If you're blonde, then you probably don't need to do that, or lighter brown, maybe just a little bit of cocoa powder, but obviously super natural, comes out of your kitchen. And what I'll do is once I've shaken it all up, it's all mixed really good, I take the lid off, and I take an old makeup brush, like a blush brush, and I just dab it in a little bit, tap off the excess, and then just put it right on my roots where I'm really greasy. So this is a great tool if you decide you want to go a week or 2 without washing, but you just can't handle the grease anymore, or as you're transitioning to a new way of washing your hair. And this does not seem to have any of the crappy side effects of some of the dry shampoos I've used, and I've used some really expensive ones too, and I've just never found one that works quite as reliably as this one. So again, just a little dab here and there along my temple, crown of my head, anywhere that I see a lot of grease. I let it sit there for a second, and then I brush really, really well. So that brings me to my last tool that I want to share with you guys, and that is a natural bristle brush. Okay, so you guys might have heard people say that back in the day they used to recommend brushing your hair for like 100 strokes or something. I always thought it was kind of malarkey. By the time I was a teenager, people were not saying that anymore. I think my mom grew up with that. Anyway, but I was always curious where that came from because they actually say that overbrushing will damage your hair now. Well, this is where it comes from. Natural bristle brushes. So that means it's made of an animal hair, okay? So this brush is sturdy, sorry. This brush is from boar's hair bristles, okay? So the bristles are actually made of hair from a boar. I know, it's weird. But because they're natural and they're not synthetic, they're not made of plastic, they take the oil, they grab the oil from your scalp and the roots of your hair and distribute it through your hair. Like mind-blowing, right? That's like the point of the oil on your scalp. It's not just produced for no reason. It's actually produced to condition your hair, from what I've read. And so just letting it sit on our scalp and then washing it out doesn't really do much for us. But if we can redistribute it with a brush, then our hair is just healthier and fuller. So anytime it's greasy, I do one of these two things, and usually both. Add a little bit of the cornstarch to my roots, and then I brush 100 times, or however, I don't count that long, but whatever. Enough that it looks like the oils are redistributed. And that has helped my hair look so much healthier and so much more vibrant and shiny, and it gets the oils off my scalp and into my hair where they belong because they are designed to condition your hair. So I will see if I can find a link for you guys for this brush. I can't remember where I bought it. They are expensive. I think I spent probably $50 on this, but I've used it every single day, multiple times for multiple years, and it just works so much better than all the plastic brushes on the market, so I highly recommend that one. Anyway, that's about all I have for you guys. I'm not a hair care expert by any means. I'm not a stylist, but this is what has worked really well for me. So I highly recommend you try it. Doesn't cost anything. Just go pull the baking soda and vinegar out of your kitchen. Give it a shot for a week or so. Let me know what you think. See if it helps with texture issues at all. See if it helps your body calm down the oil production if it's getting kind of crazy. And let me know what you think. It may or may not work for you, but good luck. I hope it does. Bye.